Hello there, Fatema. I'm really happy to see these essays from you. So let's get straight into it. I see that your exam is coming up, so let's not waste any time. Okay, the graph demonstrates the structure of a house of 2 floors. Overall, the main floor is larger than the lower floor. Okay, first of all, it's not really a graph. It's actually a floor plan, so it's okay to refer to it as such. Okay, it's fine. I mean, your overview here, overall, the main floor is larger than the lower floor. It's fine. I mean, you could have said something maybe a little more about it, that maybe it's considerably larger, or it's, 3 times as large. Don't go into detail, but, I mean, you could potentially have said something more about it, just a little bit. Okay. The plan of the main level shows that there are 3 bedrooms, each with a closet situated on the left of the entry. The largest one has its own bathroom, while the other 2 share the same bathroom, which is larger. In front of the entrance, there is an aisle that leads to the kitchen on the right and a lav on the left. On the right of the entrance, there is a living room and garage. In addition, a dining room is placed, let's see, in the corner between the kitchen and the garage. Moving to the lower floor of the accommodation, it is half the size of the main level, and it has the 4th bedroom in it, together with a laundry and activity room. Okay, so Fatema, I mean, you've basically expressed it rather well. I have one major complaint. Let's just look at it together. It's right here. Oh, well, you can see some of it at least. Okay, now, it gives you all this information here about the width, the depth, and how big it is, both the main floor and the lower floor, but you never actually mentioned that. And as far as I'm concerned, I mean, that's pretty crucial information. Okay, now I know that this is a floor plan that really does have a lot of information, but you really probably should have mentioned, at the very least, this. I don't really think any examiner would ever expect you to say that the living room is 14 by 20, but, you should at least mention these because, I mean, as far as I know, that this is probably considered key information, so it's the kind of thing that you have to include in order to get above a 4. Okay, so that's the one thing. There were a couple of things that you didn't mention. You obviously can't mention everything. I think I would have wanted to hear something about this terrace. And also, let me share it to you. Also, the patio. Can you see that? There's this whole area here is the patio. So I would have liked to have you mention that too. I mean, you mentioned just the internal spaces, but none of the external, and they are part of the plan. Okay. All right, but on the whole, your grammar was very good. The vocabulary was also very good. So nicely done. Let's go back to this. It does feel a little short to me, and that might have to do with, you not including some of this information. I didn't do a word count, but just looking at it, it feels kind of short. Okay, so again, I mean, it's really quite good, but I do think you could have probably developed it just a little more, and I think that the biggest problem is probably not including any of the measurements of this floor plan. Okay, so let's move on to your task 2. Okay, Fatema, here we go with your task 2. In the past, there was only a small number of people who had the chance to travel. However, nowadays, all means of travel are available for everyone. I just automatically want this to say to everyone. Something is available to everyone. Okay, despite all the advantages of traveling, it is still thought that there might be some disadvantages. This essay will outline the benefits and drawbacks of traveling. Okay. Okay. The most important benefit that traveling brings is gaining likelihood. All right, I don't know what that means. What do you mean by that? Is gaining likelihood? It's not really clear. Okay, but let's move on and see how you express that. To illustrate that, people recently have started traveling either for work or for completing their studies for various reasons. In some countries, there are no enough job opportunities, or the number of seats in universities is lower than the number of high school graduates. All right, let's clean up some of the things happening here. So yeah, this is incorrect. I mean, you obviously mean something else than you've written here. Okay, then here, this needs to be capitalized. There should be a space, of course. There are not enough job opportunities, or the seats in university, the number of seats is lower than the number of high school graduates. For example, some Kuwaiti students choose to study abroad since the subject they want is not available in any of Kuwait's colleges. Kuwait should be capitalized here. In addition, people have become open-minded by being exposed to new cultures thanks to traveling. This is what makes travelers capable of communicating with people from different backgrounds. For instance, when I first came to the UK, I did not know how important eye contact is, okay? It's not a question, all right? It is a clause that starts with how, but it doesn't mean that that makes it a question. So you do need to follow here sentence order. So it should be how important eye contact is when speaking to people there. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question about your paragraphs. Why, okay, you hit return here and then you started this. So I don't understand, is this a new paragraph? Is this an extension of the previous paragraph? If it is an extension of the previous paragraph, it should continue on the same line. If it is a different paragraph, then you should leave a space just like you did here. All right, these might seem like details, but they are actually important. Paragraphing is really important in paragraph 2, so they do take on importance. Okay, so however, many people liked traveling, so they have, do you mean maybe they like traveling so much? Perhaps this is what you meant. So many people like, and why is it past tense? Don't you think it should be simple present? In other words, that it's something that's a general fact, it's true all the time. So many people like traveling, so they have so much they have changed their lifestyles completely. They're possessive. As a result, many cultures are being lost. People in Arabian Gulf countries, for example, are highly influenced by the Western lifestyle, so they wear a t-shirt and jeans, no A, more than their traditional costumes, which leads to loss of identity as well. Okay. Fine. So, in conclusion, although traveling is beneficial for making money and broadening people's perspectives, people need to be aware of the dangers of it so they hold on to their traditions. Okay, very nice job. However, I have another concern here. Check this out. Look how long and how big this paragraph is about the benefits of traveling. It's considerably long. I haven't counted the lines, but I'm sure you can do that. In contrast, the side that you actually support, this idea that traveling does have, what's going on here? This idea that traveling has dangers is really tiny in comparison. I mean, look, now that I look at it, it's just the size of this. So the side that you don't support is actually over more than twice as large as the side that you do support. So that is a little troublesome. I mean, you should try to kind of, as much as possible, balance the size of your paragraphs. And if anything, the side that you agree with and the side that you support should be longer. I mean, not a lot longer, but it should be longer. Okay, so that's a little problem here. I mean, an examiner might think that, you know, you haven't really discussed both sides equally. Okay, but these are nice essays. You have some nice ideas. You have some nice vocabulary, some good grammar. The structure is more or less appropriate. So it's a good job. I don't know if you have any essays left for IELTS podcast to correct. If you do, I am really looking forward to reading them. I think I read that your exam is this Saturday. So, you know, getting feedback right up until the day of your exam is really important to help you, you know, improve as much as possible, even up to the day of the exam. However, if you're done, then I can just wish you the best of luck. Please keep us posted on how you do.